Hello and welcome to Your Government in Action, a presentation of Bahamas Information Services. I'm Carissa Williamson. The Bahamas Agricultural and Food Safety Authority officially opened its head office on Davis Street on November 3rd, 2025. The grand opening showcased various technologies and systems aimed at strengthening food safety in the Bahamas, as well as the launch of a new mobile plant health laboratory.
As we celebrate the official opening of the Bahamas Agriculture, Health and Food Safety Authority, also known as BAHFSA. This occasion transcends the mere inauguration of a facility. It encapsulates our shared vision to protect the very foundation of our nation: our food, our plants, and our animals. For too long, our systems for monitoring and protecting these critical sectors have worked in isolation. But with the establishment of BAHFSA, we take a bold, dare I say brave, step forward by unifying our efforts under one science-driven organization. This new authority is dedicated not only to the health of our people, but also to ensuring the vitality of our agriculture and the reliability of our food supply chain. BAHFSA stands as a vigilant guardian of food safety in the Bahamas. Its mission goes beyond regulation. It embodies our commitment to care, vigilance, and responsibility. BAHFSA will coordinate food safety activities at every stage of production, from food manufacturing to distribution, as well as animal and plant production. It will enforce the rules and laws of sanitary and phytosanitary agreements, helping to shield our country from risks associated with food contaminants and harmful pests and diseases that threaten public health. Today, we are also excited to unveil an innovative advancement, the BAHFSA Mobile Laboratory. This mobile plant laboratory, and may I add, the first mobile plant laboratory in this region, I think that deserves one, will revolutionize plant health diagnostics, bring essential testing capabilities directly to farmers and stakeholders in the field, especially in the Family Islands, where access to such services has historically been a challenge. The mobile lab will significantly decrease response time for pest and disease identification, thereby safeguarding our vital crops such as pineapples, citrus, bananas, and coconuts from emerging threats. Furthermore, it will enhance the Bahamas' ability to meet international phytosanitary standards, which will ensure smoother trade and export processes. The mobile lab will serve as a crucial tool for nationwide surveillance, enabling swift detection of invasive species and diseases before they can spread. Every test conducted, every inspection performed, and every certification issued by BAHFSA strengthens our Bahamas into a country that can sustainably and safely feed its own people. Ladies and gentlemen, this achievement we celebrate today is the result of extensive collaboration amongst various ministries, as well as the contributions of farmers, importers, and international partners. BAHFSA will continue to engage with these stakeholders to fortify the systems that protect our borders and markets. And ladies and gentlemen, today is just the beginning of BAHFSA's journey. In late 2026, it will launch the first biosecurity Level 3 mobile veterinary lab. P.S. I hope I'm around to see that. So note to self, if any changes take place, ensure my invitation. We envision this authority evolving into a beacon of excellence that embraces innovation, expands research initiatives, and cultivates the next generation of Bahamian scientists and inspectors. Ladies and gentlemen, these efforts represent the Bahamas' proactive approach to pandemic prevention and preparedness through the latest available technology. Can anyone remember COVID-19? Together, we aim to create an authority that commands respect both regionally and globally, ensuring our nation thrives at the forefront of food safety, animal health, and plant health. To the board and management and staff of BAHFSA, I say thank you. Thank you for your unwavering dedication and faith in this vital mission. I urge you, fulfill your roles with passion, precision, and a sense of pride. You are truly the frontline defenders of our nation's health and prosperity. You are the stewards of an agency that impacts the lives of every single Bahamian. And to the people of the Bahamas, this authority is yours. It serves you, protects you, and reflects our collective commitment to building a safer, healthier, and stronger Bahamas for all.
Diplomatic Week 2025 ran from October 19th to the 23rd, 2025. And to close out Diplomatic Week, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs hosted a medal presentation ceremony for faithful service and outstanding contribution in the Foreign Service. The event, held at Bahamar Convention Center on October 23rd, 2025, recognized excellence and dedication within the nation's diplomatic corps.
My remarks are obviously very brief, but I want to congratulate you for continuing service to our country. I want to observe that in 2025, the Foreign Service Act was passed, and the vision of your minister to professionalize the service was brought to fruition, where a structure was put into place, and as an inducement and encouragement for those of you who serve, and to have a defined path in your service. The final point I'd like to make is that we can never, ever overemphasize the importance of the work you do. You have the privilege of representing the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, whether here in the office of the Foreign Ministry or abroad in service in the world of international affairs. But your work is extraordinarily important, particularly because we are a vulnerable small island nation. And the issues that affect our nation are issues of its survivability. And the question is always, what else can we do to bring to the attention of the world that even though we're small, in our views, as we express them internationally, we are speaking powerfully to the world based on the human experience of the Bahamian people. An experience that emanates from our travails in the times of hurricanes, the enormity of the issue of climate change, the protection of our citizens abroad, access to areas that would improve our economy. All of these are foreign affairs issues. Survivability of our country, the improvement of the quality of life of our people through international connections and representation, safety and security, and then to truly rely on you, finally, to recognize that there are changing circumstances in our world. And I'm speaking decidedly, cautiously, but changing circumstances politically in our world that our leaders have to grapple with. One of the safety valves for the Commonwealth of the Bahamas is that we've had Fred Mitchell as a foreign minister over 3 political terms. And I will end with this. It is always a great comfort to a prime minister when he is abroad and he can see people from countries large and small walking up to his foreign minister and say, "Hey, Fred, what's happening? What are we doing today?" That level of camaraderie and acceptability, recognition of our foreign minister really is, who is an extension of yourselves, becomes an extraordinarily enriching experience for those of us who have the opportunity to see foreign affairs practiced at its very best. When Minister Mitchell spoke to me about the Foreign Service medals, I didn't think much of it at the time because you're always preoccupied with other matters. But as I observe you and look at what you're doing and the responsibility that you have, I have come to value the importance of saying thank you to people who serve us magnificently in the course of our lives, and who the people of the Bahamas may not know or even hear of, but by virtue of the nature of your work and its importance, you are serving at a high standard the best interests of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and I congratulate you all for that service.
And now we take a look up north with our Northern Service. The Grand Bahama Games are set to commence November 3rd, 2025, marking a return after more than a decade. This announcement made by the Grand Bahama Sports Council of plans for the 6th Grand Bahama Games during a press conference held on September 24th, 2025.
At this time, I'd like to welcome each and all as we launch the 6th Grand Bahama Games. These games we'll be honoring none other than Mr. Churchill Tenor Knowles. And this year, we will be catering to 5 disciplines, which will be volleyball, softball, soccer, baseball, and basketball. We intend to get started with volleyball, which will get started on the 3rd of November. These games will be run throughout the month of November in Grand Bahama. So far, we will be catering to 5. Like I said, there'll be 5 discipline, and there'll be 5 constituencies. Basically, we'll be using the model which currently being used in the political arena, the 5 constituencies. And to date, we have all members of parliament on board who will be assisting to making sure these games become a success. So I urge the Grand Bahama community to come out and support the Grand Bahama Games as we try get things in order as a prelude to the Bahama Games, which is scheduled to be held in New Providence in 2026.
When will the other sports be played?
When you say the other sport, you mean other sporting discipline?
Yeah.
Well, they will be doing nearer to the Bahama game next year. Like we're talking about track and field, swimming, and other discipline. They would be played next year as we lead up to the Bahama Games, along as we get them dates from the government.
To tell you how they started, in 1992, I was speaking with a friend of mine from Abaco, Arthur Eldon, and he said that they were having the Abaco Games. And so I said, you know, it's a very good idea. Why can't we have the Bahamas Games, Grand Bahama Games? And so I brought it to the committee, and some of the persons are here now, actually Cecil Thompson and Harold McPhee, and they agreed 100%. But then the Retta Parish says, let's name them the Grand Bahamas Constituency Games. And that's how the MPs got involved. And actually, I'm glad to hear, Brother Ray, that the MPs are involved, because for the very first Bahamas Games, they were instrumental in actually getting the games going, the 6 constituencies at that time. And so we had the support of the MPs. They actually purchased shirts for their constituency, all of the 6 constituencies. And then we said, well, why not have the regatta part of the Grand Bahama Games? And so I spoke to Harold McPhee, he's here. And I said, when you go to Exuma now, talk to the guys down there, see if they would bring some sailboats to Grand Bahama, be a part of the Grand Bahama Games. Harold spoke with them, and we got 6 boats, 6 C-class boats, 6 C-class boats. And each one was assigned to the constituencies. And so the games went off exceptionally well that year, thanks to the support of the MPs of each one of the constituencies here in Grand Bahama. And it's good to see that they're now continuing to have the Grand Bahama Games, because it brings the island together.
For your Government in Action Northern Service, I'm Carissa Williamson. More of your Government in Action when we return. Welcome back. To commemorate Rehabilitation Month and highlight various initiatives and community rehabilitation efforts, the Department of Social Services of the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting held a press conference at its headquarters on October 31st, 2025.
I am indeed pleased to fill in for, in this case, our acting minister, the Honorable Pia Glover Roll, who unfortunately is unable to join us this morning. And so I am sharing our plans for Rehabilitation Month. Rehabilitation Month's theme is being held under is Rebuilding Strength, Restoring Hope, Together We Rise. This theme captures not only the essence of rehabilitation, but it also captures the spirit of our nation, a people who, even in the face of adversity, rise again, stronger and more united. Rehabilitation, at its very core, is an act of faith. Faith in human potential, faith in transformation, and faith in the enduring power of hope. It is the belief that no one is beyond redemption, and that with compassion, guidance, and opportunity, lives can truly be rebuilt. The proclamation issued by our Right Honorable Prime Minister, Philip Edward Davis, reminds us that rehabilitation in the criminal justice system is more than a process of correction. It is a mission of restoration. It calls for education, redirection, and reintegration of individuals who have lost their way, so they might once again walk in purpose and dignity. But this mission is not the government's alone. It requires the hands and hearts of all: families, communities, NGOs, churches, and the citizens of the Bahamas. For when we extend understanding instead of judgment and offer opportunity instead of rejection, we help build a society where every individual has a chance to contribute meaningfully. This month, historically, has been observed to bring greater attention to matters related to rehabilitation. As we focus on rebuilding strength and restoring hope, we are renewing our commitment to creating pathways for transformation. We will continue to educate parents, reteach students, empower communities, and provide professional support that turns setbacks into comebacks. This year's theme, Rebuilding Strength, Restoring Hope, Together We Rise, reminds us that rebuilding does not happen alone. We rise when we walk together. We rise when we support one another. We rise when we choose love and compassion over judgment. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you, and I would now like to welcome the opportunity to share with you the calendar of events that have been planned for the month.
The main events begin on Monday, November 3rd, with a annual church service, which will be held at Abundant Life Church on Abundant Life Road, which is off Soldier Road. And that will be from 10 to 12. On Friday, November 7th, will be Literacy Day, and that's going to be held at the Simpson Penn Center for Boys. And that's from 12 to 3, which is, we're going to have persons from Rotary Club address the residents at the Simpson Penn Center for Boys. So that's not an event for outsiders to come in. On Thursday, November the 13th, and Friday, November the 14th, will be training. It's called Psychological First Aid Trauma Workshop, which will be right in the same room from 9 a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m., and that's for staff training as well as our stakeholders. Monday, November 17th, will be a breakfast distribution to our school resource officers, and that's a free give back, so to speak, to our resource officers for assisting us whenever the need arises. And that will be in the morning. And then on Wednesday, November 19th, the National Parenting Program will be hosting a parenting seminar for their clients, and that's going to be held at the National Parenting Building as well. Sorry, in the same room, and that will be from 6 o'clock to 7:30 p.m.
I honestly believe that they
November 21st, which is a Friday, there's the Family Fun Day that will be held for the residents at the Willie Mae Pratt Center for Girls. And that will end our activities for Rehabilitation Month.
Continuing the ongoing partnership between the United States and the Bahamas in disaster relief and humanitarian support, the United States Embassy, led by Chargé d'Affaires Kimberly Furnish, visited the Bahamas Red Cross headquarters on November 3rd, 2025. During a ceremony held in the Red Cross Auditorium, the embassy handed over relief supplies and made additional donations to assist with hurricane and disaster response efforts nationwide.
So again, standing on the protocols established, very happy to be here with you this morning. As you know, when we saw Hurricane Melissa headed towards the Bahamas, we worked with all levels of Bahamian society to prepare. We worked with ministries across the board, we worked with NGOs, and we worked with the private sector as well. Huge shout out to SpaceX, to Judo One, and an NGO in the United States called the Love and Life Foundation, among many others who stepped up to help with the evacuation of islanders from the Southeast Islands to get them to the safety of Nassau. And so too, we called on many private sector and just private plane owners who were able to get to some of the smaller runways and help evacuate Bahamians out of those small islands to get them out of harm's way and to save lives in advance. So many kudos to Director General Ali, to the Bahamian government for getting your people to safety and thinking proactively. I really admired the work and was more than happy to jump in and be a part of the team on that one. And so too, we work with civil society and often in disaster response, the Red Cross, who have been incredible partners of the U.S. Embassy, of the U.S. government, and so proud to always work with you. We've worked together to ensure that people across the islands were prepared, who could have been really catastrophically impacted by this storm. Thankfully, the worst of the predictions did not come to pass in the Bahamas. And yet, there were thousands of Bahamians forced to flee their homes, and they're now cleaning up from damage. And the United States stands here to help. On Friday, I joined Prime Minister Davis, the leader of the opposition Pintard, Police Commissioner Shanton Knowles, and Defense Force Commander Moxie on a U.S. Coast Guard flight over the affected areas. We saw the damage with our own eyes. Some of those affected, I realize, will have a difficult road ahead. The United States deployed a Disaster Assistance Response Team, or a DART, and they're sitting right over here with us, here to the Bahamas to help plan and implement relief efforts. The DART is an elite disaster response team that the U.S. government deploys to coordinate assistance with partners adversely impacted by disasters. DART is working in the Bahamas with relief organizations to make sure that those impacted get the right supplies when they need them most. And our team is working alongside Bahamian counterparts in the National Emergency Operations Center to coordinate assistance. One of the U.S. government's long-standing partners is with the Bahamas Red Cross. That is why today we have chosen this site to hand over relief items from the American people. We appreciate how the Red Cross helps people from communities across the country. It's a great example of Bahamians helping Bahamians, with the United States in a supporting role. Know that the United States supports the Bahamas in good times and in challenging ones. So I'm honored today to turn to President Sumner and ceremonially hand over $30,000 worth of supplies to this wonderful organization. We are proud of the Red Cross. We are impressed with the resilience of Bahamians in the aftermath of this hurricane, and together we will stay strong. Thank you so much, Red Cross. Thank you so much to the people of the Bahamas. I'm honored to be here with you today. Thank you.
I'm Carissa Williamson, and this has been Your Government in Action, a proud presentation of Bahamas Information Services. Join us on Wednesday evenings where we bring you highlights, coverage, and information as we continue to do what we do best, linking people and government.